So we came here to SeaWorld today to see Jack Hanna, the world famous animal conservationist. On the way here, we did notice that SeaWorld has started their Christmas stuff. But like I said, we're actually here to come see Jack Hanna, so we aren't all festive out today. So we'll see how our show goes. Hopefully, see if we can catch a photo with him.
But this is fascinating. Everybody see what goes on behind the scenes with Jack Hanna. Here now we have video. We haven't had the camera rolling. When Jack arrived earlier today, look at this. There. That's how they unload him, just like that. Pop that out of always confusion in the air when my next guest is in the building. Take a look at some videotape now. This is Jack Hanna earlier and a couple of camels that they trucked all the way from Columbus. There they are in the hallway on the 6th floor, and they've walked them down from, I guess, a back entrance. Now take a look at this trail of debris. Looks like a tornado has touched down there in the hallway. We're returning mobile homes for miles around. The hippest zookeeper we know, folks, all the way from the Columbus, Ohio Zoo. Please welcome Jack Hanna and whatever he's got out there. Jack, come on in. And what's the difference between a one hump and a two hump?
Well, the difference is one's got this hump, one's got two humps. One's a back end. One's a back end, which is rare. It's pretty rare. This is rare. And this is pretty, pretty normal. Nobody kick. Oh, jeez, what are you?
I didn't kick you. Now, wait a minute. I don't know exactly if I want to get on it.
You ready?
Now, what do I do once I get up on the... They're speaking in tongues suddenly.
This your camera, we're ready.
Okay.
The animals.
And how do you do this exactly? You get something bolted to it. So my back foot.
Just like you're mounting a horse.
That's right. So when the camel falls, I'll be sure and snap my leg. I can do it, Jack. Not exactly. I know you're trying to, but they have bad traction on the slick joint. They do.
But no. But no, it's free.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay, thanks. Shrimp salad wasn't refrigerated. Who is he? He keeps saying, take him up. Who are you? Is he what? Oh. Okay. I want to go back to my tent, all right? I think I've seen Gaddafi somewhere over there. Huh? Will you tell him, Jack? It's your tent.
Yeah, don't go out.
Okay, now I'll just get off now. Now take him to... No. This is a hijacking? No. Take him down. Now just take him down, because we have many other animals. Don't we have a raccoon? Would you like to see a raccoon?
What a camel does in the wild is without the camel, people in Africa, all throughout the world would never have gotten anything. It was just, they had to use a camel for transportation. Actually, camels are used for 4 and 5 weeks when they go across the desert, not just for food and water. There's not water, but just fat. But when you ride a camel, if you don't have a saddle, what you have to do, everyone, is you have to hold on like this. Dave. Dave, I didn't know the camel was up there. Somebody back behind me. Get me off this damn thing. Somebody back. I'm going off. What's wrong with you? The camel Have you ever mounted a camel?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got on the camel, you know, I'm not doing funny.
No, I wouldn't go anywhere near this animal.
I guarantee you something, I'm never going to do it again. Dave, I watched a Komodo dragon 30 pounds in 2 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Dave, please come.
I don't want to.
He's going to hurt you.
Well, let me see that he doesn't hurt you first. Feed him the meat, Jack.
I just want you, the heat sensor, that's what I'm saying.
Heat sensor.
See there, heat sensor. Oh, you can, oh, it feels neat.
Yeah. Jack, I don't know, the animals seem to be drawn to you as if you were a magnet.
I wanted you to smell it.
Yeah.
Paul, do me a favor. Get the room freshener. Now, Dave, this is the largest animal in the world.
What kind is that?
Just sit, don't jump when he flies. Just stick it. It's a raised eagle. We got very powerful talent. So if you don't know where they're from, just stick it next to me. They're from, whoa, wow.
Oh my God! Whoa! Man, did you feel that going by the air?
That's not what's supposed to happen.
What's supposed to happen?
We practice. It's supposed to land on the stomach.
Oh, up right here on the stump.
Now, let me show this other little owl, okay? But since that got screwed up,
But what?
you don't get my else after me, nobody else is on, are there?
No, not now.
Well, anyway, that is the Eurasian eagle, the largest owl in the world, okay?
Oh, it's so cute. How do I find that
Now
out?
get the Bruno down from the rafters. Thank you very much.
So, don't get worried, everybody works here, don't get worried.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, if he flies on you, I'm sure just stay still, I'll get him after the show.
Well, let get him down here now.
I can't get him down here right now.
Colin, use your special.
We got him too long right now already.
Get him down here.
I can't get him down here.
How could you?
Okay, because
Go over there with the mouse and do. Hold the mouse. Like that. Take the mouse over there and make that noise.
That's gonna hurt so bad.
Hey, Paul. Where's Paul?
Paul's out of here. I don't blame him. Throw one up there, Jack. Here, you keep an eye on that.
Oh, here he is. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Oh, he's right over. He's Jack. He's right here. He's right here. Right there. Throw it right at him.
Oh, there he is, yeah.
Throw the mouse right at him. Look, it's a dead mouse.
This isn't electrified, is it?
No. Get him! Get him! No!
I tried.
Well, you could have reached him and pulled
I'm
him.
not gonna grab that thing and take your hand off.
Yikes! Oh! Unreserved. Now, has he had his scent gland removed? You don't know.
Dave, here's the thing. I know this looks cute everybody at home, all right? But the point is, everyone, you gotta be, I'm not, it's about, you don't have to worry. I'm just saying, the more, you don't want to pick up skunks in the yard or raccoons and things. This is
Nice shot, by the way. Just relax. The doctor will be in a minute. How are you feeling?
I'm going to try to explain to you where the gas, not the gas, the spray comes out. The stuff comes out of the spray. The main thing is you don't pick up raccoons or they have rabies.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there like an idiot holding it.
That's right. Guilty as charged. But a woman came up to me and she said, "Here, hold my skunk."
I don't know what happened to the beaver. I'm sure sorry you had to watch that show. No, just saw David Letterman, is that what you were watching? Mm-hmm. Well, on the last show, he did 30 years, 100-something shows there. And when he retired several years ago, on the last show he did, he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, Jack," real nicely, he said, "If you saw the show, you saw how he always came after me, and when he did that, I went back at him. So it was a lot of fun for 30 years. He said, "Jack, do you know what you are, Jack?" Real nicely to me. "Do you know what you are?" "What's that, Dave?" "You're nothing but a walking encyclopedia of misinformation." I said, "Dave, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. But you know something? You're an idiot. Because because the first animal I brought here was a pygmy hippopotamus, and you thought it was a pig, you jerk. So that's how that whole show worked for 30 years. So it really was a lot of fun for me to do it. A lot of you know maybe my background, some of you keep asking me about it, and that's fine. You young people, I like sharing my story. I was raised on a farm out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and I was a little boy at 11 years old. I went to work for a veterinarian, cleaning cages, and I loved every minute of it. And after I did that, he took me to the zoo in Knoxville, a very small zoo at that time, and I saw the zookeepers, and I went home and told my dad at 12 years old that I was going to be a zookeeper. And my dad always taught me something before he passed away. He said, Jack, remember this, love what you do. What that is up to you. And sure enough, I continued that. I was made fun of, and kids might want to hear this, was made fun of in school, high school, preschool, college. Matter of fact, in college, on my last day before graduation, they called me in his office, the president of the college. I won't mention the college name. And he said, I don't usually call anybody in, but Jack, I'll read what the senior's going to do. You got down here, he's going to be a zookeeper. Why would you do that? And this was many years ago. I'd give away my age if I told you. Well, I'm 71 years old, so I gave it away. A long time ago. A long time ago. But you know, what I'll be clapping for pretty soon is, I met my wife Susie in college, and in 38 days I've been married 50 years. That's hard to believe. You can imagine living with Jack Hanna and camels in the kitchen, I swear. Fish in the commode bowl, penguins in the bucket in the tub. You adults, I'll talk to you later. Anyway. So, yes, I was raised there. And yes, I did love animals. And yes, I did become a zookeeper, cleaning cages in Tennessee, and then went to Ohio at the Columbus Zoo, where I've been for 40 years. But the main reason, folks, I love this is because of this park right here in Busch Gardens. Why do I say that? Because in 1972, I was very blessed to go to Sanford, Florida, up your road here. Some of you know this, maybe you don't know it. And I went there to be the zoo director and also moved the zoo from downtown Sanford to where I got the county to buy that property near the interstate, and it took us 3.5 years to build that zoo. And I'll never forget how nice people were, and we did build the zoo. I've not been there in about 5 years, but I guess it's still there, the Central Florida Zoo, because it really was a very big deal for me. So that's kind of like my background a little bit, everybody. And then the TV stuff just started. As you can see, I have no idea what I'm doing, so enjoy it. In 1973, when I came here, when this park just opened, you think I've seen a whale in Tennessee, in the Tennessee River? No, I saw some carp. But, so I got the girls, they were only 4, 7, and 9 years old. Now they're obviously in their upper 40s, low 50s, and they tell me this day with their children, they'll never forget when I brought them here and showed them the whale. And that's why I come here. I come here because without what they have here in whales and different fish around the world, different birds, what do you think about the children next to you? You think they're going to be able to see them? I wish each and every one of you, and I sincerely mean this, on the Bible I put my hand, that I wish you could each see these animals, but it just doesn't happen that way. And you cannot save something and love something unless you see something. Because I don't know if you know this or not, the SeaWorld parks are the largest rescue people in the United States of America when it comes to wild animals. Can you imagine that? The largest in the United States of America. Since 1970, and I don't read this, the first time I've done this was yesterday and today. In any speech I've ever done, I don't use this. In 1970, since then, they released 33,000 animals, saved and released 33,000. 2,100 rescued last year and rehabilitated. Manatee, I'll promise you this, history will go down. You guys know what's happening to Manatee right now. In Columbus, Ohio, I've been there for 41 years. I came through here to film about 25 years ago, let's say. I saw manatee in these plastic things about this big. Why is that? One of the worst red tides in the history of Florida hit the U.S. coast and some other parts. They went and rescued all these manatee. Well, this was about 25 years ago. I immediately went back home to Ohio, where I'm on the director of the zoo there. And I didn't know that Ohio is the largest giving, as far as money, to the Manatee Foundation. I didn't know that. All of a sudden, in less than 48 hours, I raised $10 million to build brand new manatee habitats. So that's why I really believe in the future. That have been for SeaWorld. I'm sorry to say, in the years to come, I just hope the manatee can make it. I just called the West Coast today, and they lost another one because that daggone red tide still won't go away. As a matter of fact, 520 manatees died in Florida last year, 520. 2 years ago, SeaWorld, it's amazing here, I can't even read the numbers on this one. Over 400 manatee, they built the manatee habitats there, that was when I was here. They've given $11 million, $11 million to conservation grants. You won't believe this, in 800 organizations. Every one of you by coming here today and getting entry and paying this, you would not know the millions of dollars they spend to save animals. So thank you so much for having me here in one of the beautiful places in the world, SeaWorld. This first animal, that happens to SeaWorld. My first animal, and I tell people, they ask me my favorite animal, it's my wife Sue, so there. I mean, 50 years, my gosh. Wow. You know, this animal here, everybody, means a great deal to me. I'll get back to possum in a second. What you're seeing here is a bald eagle. How old is this one? Obviously, it doesn't have the weight that way. 2.5. So right now, it's just starting to develop the white head and tail. I got drafted in the Vietnam War, and I can tell you now, this bird means the world to me. This bird here, you can see, is full grown. Look at that white head and the white tail. I'm 16 years old. And they have rescued, I bet you they've rescued more bald eagles. Yes, there are some bird situations that people in this country that do save the bald eagle. But every time I come here, every time, they've got bald eagles back here that been struck by lightning. The nest has been torn down or blown down. If you look at the feet there, I'll say the talons. If you look down at those talons, that's 1,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Wow. 1,000 pounds per square inch. That bird came down on my arm right now and put the his feet there, let's put it that way. My bone will be broken in a split second. That's how powerful they are. Now that's not going to happen to anybody out there, right? Eagles just don't go around to attack people all the time. But I love watching these in Montana where I live part-time. We're just so blessed to have a bald eagle nest here the last 8 years. And we watch the 2 babies every single year. It's amazing to watch them, by the way, because when they're born, everybody, they're like a little piece, it's the cutest thing, like this big. Unless mine are full, what I've watched, those things become this big here and start flying in several months. It's amazing how fast this animal grows. It's absolutely unbelievable. So there they are, and again, you might give a round of applause for a company that saved, I don't know how many hundred of these animals. SeaWorld. Thank you so much. Beautiful. That's one of the neatest animals in the world, my friend. You know, people say things play possum. I really found out 4 years ago, I was filming a lady in North Carolina that saves the possums on the highway. She saves raccoons. And of course, she has a permit to do all that. But kids, don't go pick up a possum. I did that as a young boy in Tennessee. I did not know back then it was not illegal. And you can do it today. But you have about a 90% chance of having your hand bit off, especially that animal's playing possum. Now, your parents can tell you that playing possum means they go to sleep. So this lady that helped save all these things in North Carolina, there were about 4 or 5 of them in the ground here. One was right here. And she had Mr. Hanna walk within 1 foot of it. I went like that, just looking at it. The possum went like this, plowy, fell over. I didn't touch it. And she, oh, he went to sleep now. I said, knock it off. And sure enough, that animal just went right to sleep. By playing possum, he saved his own life. If he started running and say I was a wolf or something else chasing him, then he would get caught. But sometimes an animal, when something just is laying there, they'll just bypass it. They won't consume it. So the possum, everybody, is a pretty bright animal. But you see that tail there as well? Now, why do you find possums on the highway a lot and on roads? A lot of times in the wintertime, when the sun hits the asphalt, it gets warm. Not just this animal, but other animals will sit there on the asphalt and stay warm at nighttime. Of course, we know what drives on asphalt. That's why a lot of possums are lost as well. So thank you for, it's amazing these animals, folks, how they save these as well. Thank you so much. There might be 6 here in the country now. There are only 4. And we're trying to do a breeding program. Can you imagine if you went home right now and you have an animal there that's a mammal that lays a chicken egg right in front of you, what would you say? That can't be for real. And every time I think about this thing laying an egg, it's amazing that he does it. The echidna, you can see right here, has quills. Now, those are not like a porcupine. Those things are just like nails. That thing, you have to take a hammer to break it. It does not come out of the body like a porcupine does. So that's what he uses for defense, by the way. If you look at the very end there, that I say tail, it's really a protrusion you see there at the very end of his body. You see those quills right there kind of pushed out. When a dog or a dingo in Australia chases this animal to eat it, this animal would jump down in a hole and leave that little tail thing sticking out. I mean, they got about 10 feet down in there. Why would they go down in there? They leave this sticking out because a dog or a dingo, whatever it is, goes and bites it like this, and of course it ends up with 6 to 8 holes in its mouth. And when that happens, by the way, real quickly, if you have a porcupine around your house where you live, porcupines about every state in this country. If a porcupine, just, and I have to add you this because I almost lost my dog. If a porcupine goes, and they do this by the way, dogs, wolves, when I live in Montana, always go after the porcupine. Even some people, by the way, eat the porcupine, but they know the quills are bad. But all of a sudden, that dog touches it, and all of a sudden those quills go with like a fish hook, hits his mouth or his foot or whatever. If you don't get that animal to a veterinarian in 2 days, a major infection will set in, and then the animal doesn't make it. So if you ever see that, get your dog right away to a veterinarian, because it released the quill. This animal does not release these quills. They're stuck in there like a nail. And you see, it's an egg-laying mammal, and so that's what happens. Mother Nature, when that dog bites this thing, gets a hole in his mouth, that means he'll never come back there again. That's how the animal sits out there. Then he goes down in his hole. And isn't that, to me, again, I'll repeat it, it's amazing how Mother Nature teaches these animals how to survive. And that's why I always ask the question, why did he go down the hole? And the guy that lived there told me the reason. Now, when this animal lays an egg, everybody, like a chicken, it doesn't have a breast. It doesn't have a breast. It has no way to deliver milk on his body. All of a sudden, what happens is, underneath his stomach, the tummy here, the milk secretes from the inside through the pores. And it's not white, it's not cream, it's blood red, the milk. So this is an animal, who knows if it's in a dinosaur era, I don't know. But it is a unique animal, very, very seldom seen, by the way. But I just wanted to bring that to you from the Columbus Zoo to show you what an egg-laying mammal is. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know how she picks that thing up. People just love the sloth. Now, if you want to go to Central South America and see a sloth, everybody, don't do what I did. Let's say 25 years ago, I go there to film, and I'm going into Central America to film the sloth and other animals. So I went to this guy who has a rental boats along rivers and creeks over there. I rented the boat, got the camera crew on there, and said, where's the sloth? Don't worry, just go down the little river here. You'll see about 15 of them in 5 miles. Oh, great. We take off down the river. I can't find a sloth for 3 hours. I felt like an idiot. None of us could. We go back to the guy and said, there are no sloths. He said, sir, come here with me, please. He goes, I need 10 minutes. Right there he is. Sir, that's a big blob of moss. That's not an animal. This animal, everyone, not all of them, but most of them, this hair you see here is gorgeous, but this one's kind of been shaved. It looks like he got kind of shorter hair than I believe. It's mostly hair. What happens is it rains a lot over there. It rains a lot. So algae grows on the hair. I mean big thick algae, like brownish greenish gook. And also you need drips of water, because it rains a lot. So what this animal does, it lets all the algae and stuff grow as long as it wants to. So when you see in the tree there, it could be a tree like that thing, not even halfway up that thing right there. And it's sitting there, sleeping in the day. They're nocturnal animals. It sleeps in there, and you will never know that's an animal. That you can't even see the thing breathe. You can't see the moss breathing. It looks like one big blob of moss. It does not look like an animal. And that's the major camouflage this animal has. They come down to the ground 1 day a week to go to the bathroom. They come down about 2 o'clock in the morning, go quickly to the bathroom, and go back up their tree. This animal's teeth right here, sometimes they're flat like our teeth on the front. Sometimes they're very sharp depending on what the animal eats. You see this is a two-toed sloth. That's the back leg there, isn't it? The front foot here has two toes on it, and the back foot has 3. There's also a 3-toed sloth, that's bigger than this, and different coloring. On the Letterman show I did for 30 years, I just explained that to him. He says, Jack, what's the difference in a 3-toed and a 2-toed sloth? 1 toe, you idiot. I just told you the difference in what they were. That's how he treated me. Anyway, he's still a good friend, but they are a unique animal. And by the way, back in the dinosaur era, this animal weighed way over 500 pounds. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing what they found. So thank you for doing such a great job with these sloths here at this park. Beautiful job. I see a small poke. They are fun to see. They really are. If you go to Costa Rica someday, they have these lodges. You can go there and have sloths in your room. Now, a lot of you, I want you to look closely at this. Not many people, but sometimes people will say, they'll ask me a question, and you have every right to ask me the question. Oh my gosh, Jack Hanna took away a baby's cloudy leopard from the mother to bring to show you on TV or show you here. No, that's not right. So this is the cloudy leopard. Look at it very closely. Look at that coat. So why do you think that animal's endangered? Way back in the I'm going to get out of the way of that light there so you can see the cat. It's amazing that way back, maybe I say way back, 30, 40, 50, 75 years ago, this is the most expensive pelts in the world. Yes, it was used for coats. Yes, this animal's skin. at that point, they were hunted a great deal in China, in that part of the world. I went over there to film these things several years ago at nighttime. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I was out there for I don't know how many hours. You think I'm going to find that animal in total darkness in a big, thick jungle? This animal here is the only cat in the world, everybody, that lives his entire life. Right now, he wants to run around. This cat here spends his entire life in the tree, never comes on the ground. That's why his legs are so short. But that's called the clouded leopard, and again, one of the most endangered cats in the entire world. So we're trying our best now. Columbus Zoo, what raises them, we breed them. And I really think we work with that part of the world that we get those animals back out there because they allow nobody in those parks and no more coats are taken out there. So I really believe it will not go extinct, even though it's endangered. This animal here is an animal that scared the fire out of me. About 15 years ago, I was in Australia camping out. First time I've ever been there. In a second, you're going to see why above my tent, this thing started and I couldn't figure out what it was. This kookaburra. So you think it would talk to me? Well, let's see. A laughing kookaburra. Okay. How would you like to hear that all night long? I'll never go back. Okay. I did this on the David Letterman show, and he thought it was so fascinating. He didn't last for just 5 minutes. He made me do it for 15 or 20. My gosh, my ears are blown out. But I was camping there. The first time I went there, you know, our film crew, and the things were right above us in a tree, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it might be a bird, but travel one more time. It is amazing to hear this. And when you hear that that's why you call it laughing kookaburra. Okay. I promise you I won't do it again. Let's hear from the kookaburras. You all do a great job. You really do. Now you may say to yourself, that's just an owl. With me, folks, it's not just an owl. Living in Montana, in our barns there, we have owls in the 2 barns. And these owls, you know they get mice, everybody knows that. What you're looking at, everyone, is an animal, as far as flying, it's called the animal that makes no sound. If I take this owl right now, take it over your head at 1 inch above your head, you would never hear one thing. It's called the animal that flies in silence. If I took a duck, or I took a parrot, or anything else that flew over your head, you would hear it. This animal, you'll not hear a thing. Just not one thing you'll hear. On the side of their head there, you want to point to it where the ears are? Way down there. And the hearing of the owl is the greatest hearing of any animal in the world. Some people say it's the elephant. Most people say it's the owl. The owl is the only species in the world of any animal that's on every continent in the world except Antarctica. There is no other animal in the world that's on every continent in the world except the owl. But it's not in Antarctica. And by the way, in our country right now, depending on where you live, it is a federal offense to kill an owl. Especially a lot of states have special things about it. But the owl is very important to all of us. And these are here. Let's see, what owl is that one? This one now, yeah. And this one here, screech owls. Both of them. Really? Oh, Vermin Henry, of course. I know Vermin Henry. Oh, she rescued Hurricane Irma. And every year I come here, the owls are all back here. They rescued, I told you how many thousands of animals in the last few years. And the owls are very important, folks. Their talons also are very, very powerful down there. If I was to leave this building tonight, put one mouse out there, one mouse with one owl up here, by morning, that owl would have the mouse. Can you imagine that? This whole room here. I've seen it done in a theater. The guy didn't believe me. He did it with a mouse, not quite as big as this. Sure enough, that owl had it in the morning, hearing it. I've never heard a mouse, sorry. But anyway, thank you, SeaWorld, for saving our beautiful animal, the owl. That's right, the penguin. Because I was so still on my sleeping, I've been in Africa for several weeks, I called it a penguin. So yeah, this was a penguin, I called it a pelican, sorry. These are penguins here. If you look at the, SeaWorld had a frozen penguin where you see the cold weather penguins. There are 17 species of penguins, 17 species, and all of them live in warm weather except for 2. All of them live in warm weather. South Africa. Is what this one is like. Is this a Magellanic from Magellan Straits, warm weather penguin, and this is from South Africa, a warm weather penguin. Penguins have more feathers per square inch than any bird in the world. So if this penguin, no, these two penguins, the warm weather penguins, were to go out here tonight, that temperature dropped to the upper 30s, lower 40s in a rain, they'd be gone in a few days. That's the ones down there. So more penguins are warm weather penguins than the cold weather penguins. And the penguins are black and white for camouflage, by the way. Underwater, when I go diving, we try and film them underwater. It's impossible. They're like a bullet. So the black and white is camouflage on them. And by the way, they're married for life. The male and female are there for life. And what happens is the female will lay the egg like in Antarctica. She lays the egg in these little rocks. And I've seen them lay the egg. And all of a sudden, she'll go out, all of them at one time will go out to sea. After they lay the egg, they'll all go out to see the fish. So what happens? The bird's up there just waiting to eat all those eggs. But the male penguin's right here, and he immediately sits on the egg. And so ladies, guess what? The male penguin sits there by himself for 2 weeks while she goes out there with her buddies, eats everything, and has fun, and then comes back right when the egg hatches. So she pushes the male off of it and sits on the new baby. I just want you to know that we guys are pretty important, that's all. Anyway, as I said before, the cheetah is a very weak cat. You're going to look at a cat right now, everyone. We just had filmed those last year in the Serengeti Plains. The cheetah is the fastest running land mammal in the world. The fastest running land mammal. Today, if you go home, it's not raining. Don't do this, it's raining. But the one thing I do to myself almost twice a week, I'll drive 65 miles an hour on the interstate. And if my grandkids are with me from England or my other grandkids, I'll say, kids, look out the window. And I'll go 65. I'll make sure the cars on the interstate pass me at 70. I can sit here and talk about 70 all day long with you. Do that for me. Let your kids, you look out the window, and go 65 miles an hour and watch a car go by at 70. And I'll watch these animals in the wild hit 70 plus, like 72 miles an hour. It's absolutely unbelievable to watch it. The cheetah also, if I go down in a plane, let's say, and I'm the only one that walks away or whatever, and there's a cheetah sitting right there where that one person is, I'm sorry, there's about 5 cheetahs sitting there, I come off the plane, walk like this and walk like that, the cheetah will not touch me. Now, if there's a lion sitting there, or a mountain lion or anything, Jack Hanna won't be there. For some reason, the cheetah, and by the way, if you look at this, the cheetah, by the way, used to live way up in northern Africa. There are no more cheetahs anywhere north of the equator, usually going through Kenya. So that whole part of northern Africa that had cheetahs are no longer there. The cheetah, by the way, by the Egyptians, this is amazing. Go inside the pyramids. The cheetahs taught the Egyptians taught the cheetah how to hunt. They would train them to hunt all the impala, all those hoof-stock animals. They would teach them how to hunt them. They'd go take the animal down. They would run up there, do the rest of the animal. Then they would feed the cheetah a little piece, and that's how the Egyptians lived thousands of years ago, because of the cheetah. The cheetah also, if you look at the face there, these camera work here is outstanding. It's the best I've seen in theaters. You see this up here? Look at those eyes. What do you see? You see the black thing, don't you? The black marks. What do football players and baseball players do? They look like this, right? They wear it. Isn't it amazing that Mother Nature discovered this before we did? Because this cat has to hunt in the heat of the day. They hunt 90 degrees, 100, I've seen them hunt 110 degrees. No cat does that in the world. Lions sleep all day long, leopards at nighttime, I could go on jaguars, whatever. But this cat is one of the only cats in the world that will study their prey. They'll come down there, they'll see the sick animals, the old hoofed animals, they'll see the babies, they'll go back, the next day they'll come back down, and they've already made their mind up what to go for. Now the cheetah, when he hits his prey at 70 miles an hour, they have to grab here, everybody. They have to grab right here. If they don't grab there, the animal gets away. Because the cheetah, as I told you before, is like your cat at home. By the way, the claws there, you can't see them, I don't think, right now. The claws do not go back in their feet. It's the only cat in the world that their claws stick out 24/7. That gives him the speed. So when I film a tiger in India, take down a 3,000-pound water buffalo, it takes 3 seconds. It's like a bomb going off. But the cheetah cannot do that. They have to grab their prey, hold on here for at least 5 minutes. The sad thing is, over 75% of the time, over 75%, the animal gets away from them. All right, let's say she tries it the next day. She misses in, the cubs don't make it. She tries it the third day, she doesn't miss it, she doesn't make it. So the animal has a lot of problems there. The sad thing is, once the cheetah makes it, Once a cheetah makes a KIL, once a cheetah does that, buzzards and other birds circle over the KILL while she's consuming it. Lions are sleeping, leopards are sleeping. All of a sudden they see these birds, they say, hey, the cheetah's made a kill. Then the lions and them come down, chase the cheetah away. Even the lion's been known to take out the cheetah and consume it. So this animal just was declared two years ago the most endangered cat in Africa. The thing that made me real mad though, and by the way, the dog here, let me do this first. The dog here, they are raised together. Why? Sometimes, as I told you, the cheetah mother will walk away from her first birth, or she'll consume them. A lot of spotted cats do it. But this time, we've been one of the first zoos to do it, and now a lot of zoos are doing it. So we take this animal, we get a baby dog, the same size as this, we raise them together, because you want them to be raised together. And you should see these two fight. And by the way, if you come to Columbus Zoo in the spring, summer, fall, these guys race the cheetahs at 65 miles an hour and let you watch it. It's beautiful. But the cheetah is a beautiful animal, everyone, and one that is, yes, it is endangered in Africa now. But one newspaper, thank you so much, Mom, from Columbus Zoo. We're here for Columbus Zoo and the beautiful SeaWorld Park here. Anyway, now let it go. You should see them. You should really try to check in a motel like we do. Holding a sloth, cheetah on the rope, me carrying a snake, and someone have a parrot. You know what I do? I've done this several times just to have fun while we're traveling. I'll go where it says a motel name and it says no pets allowed. Hey, let's stop there a second. So we all get out of the car. It's crazy. The last guy's holding the cheetah on a leash. I'm holding the bird. Somebody's got the snake way back so they don't see it. I go to the desk and say, ma'am, I need about 5 rooms, please. It says no pets allowed, know that, but these aren't really pets. Sir, if you don't get out of here, I'm calling the police. I said, and I made this up. I said, ma'am, according to the federal government, these are endangered animals. It's a number 501-D. It's in our Washington, D.C., and we can stay here. Well, I'm sorry, sir. Then how many rooms you need? I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry. I'm just joking. It is so much fun to do it. So, you know, I like doing it. But anyway, I've just been very blessed, everyone. Kids, if you're still here, I'm living a dream of being a zookeeper. The TV, forget it. I never wanted to be on TV. My wife will tell you. If you're my age, you watch Merlin Perkins' Wild Kingdom. I used to love just to travel out of Tennessee. That's all I ever wanted to do in life. So thank you so much for coming to what I think is one of the finest parks in the world. SeaWorld, what they do. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Thank you guys on the camera. Outstanding.
Guys, so we went to stand in line to see Jack Hanna, and we found out that the pass holder event allowed us to meet him.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah, so we got to talk to him about the David Letterman show, which was a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll see some of the video here in a little while. We filmed the whole thing for you, just not the meet and greet with Jack Hanna. We didn't want to impede on him. He also signed the hat. So
Okay.
we now have a memento of Jack Hanna that will hang in our bathroom. The animals that we saw is he brought out a couple penguins. We got to hear some kookaburras sing.
Yeah. And then they wouldn't stop. He's like, okay, that's enough. Well, yeah, it's in the video too. And then a cheetah with its pet dog, kind of. Because when he said when the mothers abandon the babies, they bring in a puppy to grow up with the cheetah. So it was really cute, them playing together. Great horned owls, screech owls. They'll all be on the video.
Yep, but it's really great to be able to see him. He is one of the world's legends when it comes to animals. And it was really great to meet him. Such a nice guy.